with a matching exercise like this, there's a couple different ways of approaching it. I would say look for things that might come out and hit you in the face, like that looks. You blur your eyes, and there's three different sets of parentheses, but these graphs look very different. So I would look for something like this to say, there's only one here with a squiggle. Okay, third power. That means there's going to be something happening at the positive 2. And you look at positive 2, there's not much happening there. Or there. It's cutting straight through, cutting straight through, cutting straight through. There's a squiggle, though. So you don't have to look too far to say, okay, well, what's going on where? There's a single root at 5 and at negative 3, and it's cutting through there and there, but there's definitely something going on there at negative 2, or at positive 2. So graph I is right there. The other one here is the double root. And so you look at the double root, and I would say there's only one where there's a bouncer, and that bouncer happens to be, I say bouncer, I think of my kids, they love those things, but a root that bounces off the x-axis, x plus 3. So at negative 3, you're going to have a bouncer. Well, there's negative 3, but it doesn't bounce. Well, there's a negative 3, and it bounces. And doesn't take long to sort of recognize that there's a positive 2 and a positive 5. Speaking of positive, it's got a positive orientation, which means it's going up, and it goes up both directions. This is the only one that bounces, but the other things kind of fall into place as well. So that's Roman numeral 2. When you look at the other two, they're both basically similar, except this little guy here means that it has a negative orientation, which means to the right as the end behavior is going to be going down. You look at these two, that's the only difference. This one here is going down to the right. And I've heard people argue, well, Mr. DuPont, this one's also going down, but when you're looking at down, it's down to the right. The end behavior, not the starting behavior. So this one's cruising down. So this would be the IV with the root at 3, at 2, and at 5. And the same thing, 3, 2, and 5, but the end behavior is going up, and therefore this is 1.